What is up, everyone? We've got your next game coming back to you rapid fire style. We've got Snitches Get Stitches versus Try Hard Titans in our second and final game of Chair League action tonight. We've casted Snitches Get Stitches in the past, and I appreciate the portrait coordination out of both teams.
Yeah, it's always a pretty important part of the game, as we remember Bandito, Tryhard, Jamster, Majesty, and Spectrama from our previous casts, and the new members on the other side. It looks like, are we actually going to Infernal Shrine?
I believe we are.
Gotta change the lobby mode, though.
So they recognize the error here. So I'm gonna SGS and Try Hard Titans into my scoreboard, and we're pretty much ready to go. All right, yeah, everything's set up. I'm looking forward to this game. Hopefully they get some good Stitches picks going on this time. I mean, why name yourself that team if you can't pick it?
Yeah, no, they prioritized the Stitches pick. Stitches obviously a very strong hero right now, so... Although, did he get changed in the last patch?
I don't think he got changed much in the last patch.
Okay.
So... We'll be moving on here very soon into the game. Well, at least into the draft as I spam my emotes. It's handy when you own all the emotes in the game. It lets you meme on a whole different level. So, Fertile Shrines. I like it. I actually don't mind casting this map. This is a fun map. We're going to move over to our scene. And so, again, what bands would you like to see here?
I mean, it's Infernal Shrines, so Sonya's always, a very strong pick. If I'm on the side of Tryhard Titans, I might just ban Stitches. A, because he's actually meta and very good, and B, because the other team is named after him, and you never know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Again, early game. Maybe I'm a scrub, but I still like the Sylvanas fan. She gives me fits here. I'm really poor at defending against a Sylvanas. So, but we see the Stukov pick, and I like that.
Yeah, standard choke out the supports. You take away one top tier support, we'll take away the other, and then right into the Ariel pick.
It's Infernal Shrines. Could we see a Cho'Gall?
It's always a possibility.
It is a possibility, but you need a really strong solo laner.
I think what's more likely is we'll see that Gul'dan pick up either on the side of SGS or Tryhard Titan in these next three picks.
That's true. It's a very possible ban. So we'll see what the two picks on Snitches Get Stitches come out to be. I'm just gonna call them SGS the rest of the night because that is really hard to say.
Yeah, it's awkward when you're talking very quickly.
Mm-hmm. It very much is. So they're really thinking about this. Because the Ariel pick, I mean, she's too meta. You can safely pick Ariel and not tip your hand at all. So, but we see the Tassadar and the Vala, a really good combo. I'm appreciative of the Vala pick. Those two pair really, really well together.
And immediately the Gul'dan to pair with Ariel and Johanna, so... Obviously, Tryhard Titans knows what they want in this draft because they're locking in very quickly.
Yeah, there's no hesitation with them whatsoever. That was. We know what we want. We're gonna get it, and it's a good combo.
There's nothing wrong with that team. You have all three of those heroes at their position excel at the things they do. Johanna's easily one of the most durable tanks in the game and very good at CC. Ariel, as long as she's got someone like Gul'dan behind her, becomes a great healer. And Gul'dan, when he has someone like Ariel behind him, he becomes a top tier damage. So the synergy is there. There's nothing wrong with it.
We see the Snitches get Stitches hovering in that Anubarak band. They switch it over to Genji, and really, that's a really good ban. To be perfectly honest.
Yeah, you don't want to see Genji. And
ooh, I like the
hard
mouth ban. I really like that ban. That was a smart ban. Because that forces them into either Brightwing, Lili, Rhaegar, or Morales. And I don't think Morales works out well on this map.
yeah, obviously Charism's still an option as well, but
Very true, very true.
I expect them to probably take Rhaegar. Rhaegar's Lightning Shield's really good here. Ancestral's a strong talent, and it pairs well with Tacitar's shielding. And
Yeah. Buys you a few extra seconds you need sometimes in order for that Ancestral to go off.
we got all hyped for that Bloodlust comp last game, and we never saw it.
So, we see
Ooh, Karazim instead, yeah.
Okay, so they decided we're not going to ban out the Anubarak. We'll just take them instead, and that's really a smart idea.
Yeah, the amount of stuns that Anubarak can chain together is always very helpful, especially if you can catch someone like Gul'dan or Ariel separated because of a Tacitar force wall.
Very much so. So, let's see how the red team responds. I'd like to see another healer pair up with this team, but in some form of damage. You see Rayman? Let's see if they go to double support. Nope, they go the Barbarian Princess.
Sonya is very strong here, and she can kind of sustain herself. So when you got that, you got Gul'dan and Ariel in a separate lane, and it'll probably be okay solo support.
Yeah, I mean Ariel is definitely no slouch in the healing department, so
Right.
it is going to be very interesting to see how Snitches get Stitches respond.
Telling you, man, just gotta say SGS. Do yourself a favor. They're taking their time here, though, thinking about the draft. I personally think they need someone to bring a lot of damage right now. That can also kind of be in people's faces. Kerrigan would be excellent, but nobody picks Kerrigan anymore.
I know, and that makes me sad because I love playing Kerrigan.
I don't feel very good about SGS's draft. I don't know where their damage is going to come from. I mean, Val is very good, but she's going to have to contend with Sonya and Johanna, really disrupting her. Testar's damage is significant, but he's not. I don't know. Maybe the Karazim will go Iron Fist, and we'll get a full damage build out of Karazim or something.
That would be entertaining. I would appreciate that.
They're going to need to find some extra damage somewhere because with Greymane and Gul'dan on the other side, you're going to need to take one of them out. And if you can't do that, they're going to do that to you.
Right.
Double support or no double support.
So I think they're depending all of their damage onto the Bella. And it's going to be really on her to perform this game.
Yeah, I mean, it's a risky gambit, but it could pay off. Looks like we're about to load in here, though, so...
Absolutely. So, go ahead and introduce our team on the left-hand side, good buddy.
On the left-hand side, we have Snitches, Get Stitches, and we have Bandito on Anubarak, Tryhard on Vala, Jamster on Arthas, Majesty on Tassadar, and Spectrama on Karazim.
And on the right side, we've got Tryhard Titans, we've got Average Oddity on the Ariel, your buddy JD on the Gul'dan, Sergeant Shane on the Johanna, Big Dizzle on the Sonya, and Leficus on the Greymane. And we are off and running. We do see Johanna pick up that Regen Master at 1. A good, solid talent for this map where they're going to be able to get a lot of globes due to rotation. Nice stun out of the Nubarak there, going on to 2. Big Dizzle eating the angry arrow from the Vala right there. The creeps come up and everyone starts wiping them up.
Yeah, the early phases of the game are often just trying to establish some position of leverage or dominance in any way that you can, and it can be tough when two teams are evenly paired. So expect to see teams just split off, rotate, and grab some experience, and wait for the first objective.
We do see Sonya getting chased off by that Arthas real quick, as Johanna is now facing the Vala and the Tassadar in the bottom. And that's going to be kind of a difficult matchup at the Monoscore if nobody comes down to help her.
Yeah, they're going to be able to push out and get some free damage on that tower, likely, if somebody doesn't come down and help.
Yeah, let's take a look at what Gul'dan
We are getting the rotation out of Greymane.
Well, this good rotation forces those two back. We do see Gul'dan did go Echoed Corruption, so already at 8 stacks, 9 stacks actually, getting 3 off of that Karazim right there. So already a fourth of the way there.
We're going to have a shrine spawning in near the bottom lane in about 10 seconds.
Absolutely, and we see this Johanna just taking a whole lot of pressure, sees the rotation, but Ariel misses the detainment strike onto the Vala, and she ends up skirting away. Let's see here. The shrine gets activated out of the red side, and they are going in right now. But it honestly, SGS has the better wave clear for these shrines, and Nubarak goes in, takes a lot of damage. Maybe not have been the best idea to just dive in there like that. Big Dizzle trying to go after him. Ariel gets a detainment strike onto Arthas, and SGS are forced out of the shrine.
And we're going to see Sonya put in the work. This is why you pick her on this map. She can really just shred through these waves when it's time to get them down quickly.
Yeah, and it does look like Tryhard Titans is going to get this shrine phase. We already see Karazim headed to the top to push that wave out. Let's take a look at what his talents are right now. Karazim did go those Iron Fists and goes Spirit Ally at 4 for that extra bit of heal. So we're going to follow this Titan. It's already jumped over the fence. It's already down to less than 20%, and they just now break the front wall down. They might get the that other cannon tower, but Ariel really wants it. Goes back in, gets lasered by the Tassadar. Really risky play right there.
And a teammate probably asking Ariel to rein it in a little bit. We don't need the tower that bad.
I mean, I can respect and understand that kind of aggression. That's stuff I do. And that's probably why I'll never be on a pro team.
Left the Gul'dan alone, or left the Johanna alone while Gul'dan and Ariel rotated up to take that camp. Now they're going to rotate back in, and we're going to see a little 3v3 skirmish action.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely watching THT work their magic on these creep waves, pushing it back up. They are going to get that tower now. I believe. Maybe. Nope. No,
The tower that won't die.
literally, someone just has to blink at it and it's down. Sergeant Shane going in, getting the combo onto those creeps. I would like to see a, let's see, what has she got? Conviction on her condemned. So she's going to be running in a lot faster every time she presses her W.
Yeah, it's very nice to have that for gap closing when you know it's close, but you want to be sure to really catch them on that outer ring and pull them back to you.
Oh, nice attainment strike against the fort right there. But Arthas comes in deep, trying to go on that Ariel, but she's got full hope, and it's almost at full hope again. Just keeping that team beefy.
Yeah, that team is really topped off at this point. There's no way to deny them from taking this fort.
Yeah, that is a really big problem because Sonya's already up there alone, and Sonya's gonna pop this shrine and just get to work as Karazim is gonna come walking in to push this wave out, but Sonya's gonna have a healthy head start, and I like grabbing this aggressive camp on the side of THT right there. We're gonna have a party push. This is gonna be really bad for Leficus. He's got really no escape. Is he gonna survive? No.
Oh, the Tassadar. Tassadar's laser is very, very long range. Gul'dan trying to put in some work.
Yeah, Gul'dan was getting some work in just there. That's Sonya It should probably be leaving right about now. But she is very, very greedy. She's going to try to get as many as possible. The stun comes in, and Sonya is in a whole lot of trouble. She is now dead. Average Oddity probably going to go down as well. Nice attainment strike. Never mind. Tassadar goes down. What an attainment strike. This is a perfect moment. Johanna getting some work in. 2 stuns come out. Your buddy JD goes down. Average Oddity goes down as well. Staggered death timers are never good. Sergeant Shane trying to get this shrine finished. Might be able to do it. Does.
Yeah.
Skin is he going to get out? No, he's dead. He's got to die.
No, another detainment strike could save him.
Oh, if he gets it. Oh,
there's the heal, too.
Nice heal from the Ariel to keep her alive. That was so good.
Yeah, clutch heads-up play, making sure they did secure that shrine at the very least, so they can continue to at least press the advantage they have, despite losing 2 team members during that.
Valid taking a lot of damage. Ooh, kind of juked the wrong way and almost died for it. Nubarak trying to get as much CC as possible, but I don't think they're going to be able to get a whole lot. They do have 10s on the side of THT. We see Blessed Shield, Crystal Aegis, Horrify, Leap, and Cursed Bullet. Smart choices. And on the side of SGS, we see Cocoon, Reign of Vengeance, Summon Syndragosa. I like that pick. Force Wall and Divine Palm. And yeah, I really, really like the Summon Syndragosa here.
Yeah. Definitely always a solid choice. Army of the Dead wins out a lot when he's solo tanking, but Syndragosa is definitely the go-to when he's got someone like a Nubarak backing him up.
Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about sustain nearly as much, especially with Cocoon being able to disable somebody. The only thing I am worried about is that Tassadar being able to just shred that Cocoon away.
The Tassadar's on the same team.
This is a problem for SGS. Nope, never mind. Oh, stun onto the Arthas. Gets hit hard. Nubarak, or not a Nubarak, Horfai comes out onto the Arthas as well. He might go down. Is there going to be a palm for him? No, another stun. Oh, Arthas goes down. So does Karazim. Tassadar is in a lot of trouble right now. Oh, he's going to get caught. He's going to go down. Force Wall misses. Greymane is all over him. Greymane is going to nice roll into the cask. So that's 3 right before a shrine. That's a big, big problem for SGS right there.
The only positive thing you can take out of that is that they did manage to get down the top wall and the 2 towers in top lane, making sure that the experience gap wasn't too wide by the fact that they lost some players. But still, you're on your back feet, you're trying to defend, and Tryhard has a stranglehold on the shrine right now. So things aren't looking good for SGS. They need to figure out a way out of this hole.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to take a really good team fight as soon as they get 13, and hopefully. Oh, that's Sonya's out of rotation. She's in a lot of trouble. 2 people on her, 5 people on her. Crystal Agus does come out. She's going to have. Oh, leaps out of
The
the way.
leap!
How does she survive that? That was so
Air
good.
Sonya gets out of there.
Rain of Vengeance on to 2 kind of dissuades any further troublemaking. Sonya was forced to go back to the well. A Howling Blast from Arthas stops Johanna in her tracks. Natalie Dormer kind of sad about that. Spectrorama trying to punch an angry Orc Warlock in the face, but it doesn't work out. Another Horrify onto Arthas. Arthas is having a bad day today. He is going to go down here eventually. Oh, nice stun from Johanna right there. Oh, that almost worked from the from Goldana right there. Almost getting the kill on Karazim, but Karazim just presses.
Oh my God!
Why? How?
That elixir was on point.
Oh, like I started yawning and then I knew exactly what happened. I didn't catch it because I'm bad. But,
yeah,
my
the
God, that was.
Acidar and the Karazim had just rotated together to tap, and the elixir Rayman got there just in time, and it exploded on both of them perfectly, securing the kill. Kills.
You hate to see that kind of thing happen. This is pretty much going to be a keep maybe at this point.
No, it doesn't look like they have enough to push through, especially with Tassadar coming back. And
Goldan's just 3 echoing or corruption hits away from finishing that quest. I think that would have came in really handy if he had had that finish beforehand.
Very good point. I think it's a bit surprising that he doesn't have it done at the 11-minute mark, but they've been they've been
team fight comes out. The Tamer Strike comes out onto the Arthas once again. Big Horrify onto 4. Divine Palm saves the Valor right there. The Karazim does end up dying. Arthas going down as well, gating on the lead. Tassadar's fate shifts away, throws the laser beam out. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get away. Oh, no, you can't run from the Greymane. He's going to end up rolling at some point, and maybe... Oh, nice Detainment Strike. Gets just team wipe right there. Just nasty combos.
Yeah, not a good time. The death timers are still pretty low, so I don't think they can end here, but they're definitely getting this keep.
So, we're...
And apparently they agree with me, because they're backing off.
I'm not sure if I agree with that.
Well, the problem is the death timers are so low, and they had no minion wave support at all. So they would have just been kind of going in there raw. Yeah, you got 17 to 13. Yeah, you can maybe outmuscle them in a fight, but why risk it underneath their core when you can just continue to assert your dominance and push for the win in the next phase of the game, or in the next phase of objectives when you have a much stronger backing.
That is very true. We do see this next shrine spawn top. If you're SGS, if you lose this shrine, do you even bother defending that fort? I don't think you do.
No, you just let that fort go. You got to make sure your mid and your bottom lane are clear of minions, and it's a bit pushed out, so you don't have to worry about that when you're defending your keep top lane.
Yeah, and they're a talent tier down, so I don't think you even defend this. I think they're making the right call. I think they're trying to force this issue with the mid keep, trying to cover that experience gap, trying to get to 16 as quickly as possible, so they can at least defend against the Punisher.
Yeah, the counter push is probably a good strategy here on Karazim's making sure to be bottom and soaking, and looks like we're going to see a response out of Tryhard Titans now. They're not going to continue to just push with the Punisher.
Yeah.
Or push for the Punisher, rather.
Well, we do see just Tryhard Titan. Oh, nice Detainment Strike, trying to grab it. We see Tassadar hit the boosters and try to get out of there. Gul'dan in a lot of trouble. Goes for the drain life, but there's just too much damage on the side of Tryhard Titans right now.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of making sure that they're targeting out the Arthas or they're targeting out the Tassadar in every team fight. You see one of them being very heavily focused on to make sure that they can't provide the amount of disruption that either of those heroes are capable. And once one of them goes down, you can kind of see the wheels fall apart on SGS. They're really, really relying on that Arthas and Tassadar.
Now, if I were THT right now, I would be incredibly careful about how hard you push with this Punisher, because it will probably get burned down very quickly by Vala and Charism. And being being down Gul'dan affects their damage a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, Gul'dan's one of their primary sources. Obviously, the Greymane has been doing a lot of work, but not having Gul'dan there does hurt because you might have been able to get a little more out of this. But
Ooh.
we see the Syndragosa come out.
Ooh, and Sonya jumps on a dude, and we see Greymane get cocoon wrapped. We see Greymane finish off the Arthas right there. I don't think they can grab core off this, but they're in a mighty good spot. But no, never mind. They've got 3 catapults on the core right now. This is entirely doable. Tassadar goes down, leaving Vala and Charism, and Gul'dan catches
that's
up.
Gonna be GG.
Nice fear from the Gul'dan right there, just to kind of put the dagger in their hearts right there. And we see Tryhard Titans go up 1-0 in this best of 3.
They looked really strong there. I was really impressed with Tryhard Titans. Definitely lived up to their name. Their rotations were really crisp. They were picking solid meta picks. They knew exactly what they wanted. They never shied away from their strategy. And it got them a very early level lead, which they never looked back once they obtained it.
Yeah, that is very true. So we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back with Game 2. It looks like we're going to be on Battlefield of Eternity when we come back.
So many whispers flying round, unbroken wings deafening, but I hide my head from the sound, so tired of listening. I let my mind just drift away, with perfect thoughts left ignored, but now I'm begging you to stay.
All right, everyone, we are back. We're waiting on one more person for game 2 of this best of 3 between Snitches Get Stitches and Try Hard Titans.
I was alt tabbed out. If you wouldn't mind tossing me the invite again, I was checking some messages.
You were not paying attention.
Well, we were in standby, so no.
So, no, the Try Hard Titans came out and really just had control. Not a dominating performance, I'll say, but they really just they knew their game plan. They executed it exactly how they wanted to.
Yeah, no, they just looked really strong. There was no hesitation in how they approached every shrine. Sonya was always there, ready to start chunking minions, and if there was no answer to that, they would go off and split push, and it just kept them in the lead.
Yeah, it was a very smart plan, and it really paid dividends in the long run. I mean, is that the new answer? Just pick Sonya on Infernal?
Since the buffs, she seems like she's an even better choice than Kerrigan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is Sonya the new Kerrigan?
Yeah.
No.
I think that's definitely a possibility.
But yeah, like I said before the break, we are now going to Battlefield of Eternity. I'm happy to cast this particular map. I still hate playing this map, but I really appreciate watching it. And teams that can execute well on this map are just so fun to watch.
For sure.
Let's see what they decide to ban out for themselves here. Well, oh, maybe not. They need to redo. So that's a good thing too, because I hadn't switched over to the draft screen yet. Because I'm a goober. the best smiley combo. Well done. Well mean.
Big fan of the Brightwing with the scissors.
The scissors Brightwing. You know who else is a big fan of the scissors? Grey Worm.
Who?
Oh, you don't watch Game of Thrones. Never mind.
I watch Game of Thrones. I just didn't hear who you said.
Grey Worm.
Oh. Castration jokes.
Couldn't help myself. Had to go for it. So,
Greymane immediately banned.
Yeah,
Not surprising.
Yeah, I don't blame them for that ban. That Greymane just ran all over their face that game. We see a Malthael bound, and that's really smart on this map because that Reaper's Mark applies to the Immortal. And that's
There's
a problem.
the Uther pick. I bet they'll answer right now with Ariel Gul'dan.
I would like to see a Cassia pick.
Ariel Vala.
Okay, that works too. Vala gets good. Is a good battery for Ariel's Hope. I like it. I mean, it's just instant picks too. Like now they're probably thinking, what do we do?
Yeah, and Tryhard Titan has no hesitation in any facet of their game. They're very fun to watch. I'm enjoying this team very much so far.
Yeah, they're probably thinking, what do we do to kind of stuff this Vala Ariel? And, I was sitting here and I'm thinking, a Zul pick wouldn't be awful.
No, Zul's not bad. I think it's a shame they already locked in their support. I think Lili really does a good job against Vala. If they wanted to complement with a second support and go like a damaging Lili with Water Dragon, that could still pay dividends because those blinds really affect Ariel's ability to be able to collect hope off of the target she has her halo on.
We see Stitches.
And Lunara. That's a very interesting combination. And I like pairing Lunara with Stitches because when that first hook hits, you can hop over them as they land, and you're not really putting yourself out too bad. And then you can hop right over them again and just complete the kill for the most part because that's a lot of damage.
And on top of that, you can, her Nature's Toxin, whatever I can't remember what her W is.
Yeah, they'll basically be pulled directly into it.
Yeah.
Tyrande is a very smart ban.
Yeah, Tyrande is really strong on this map. The Hunter's Mark is just like free extra damage onto the Titan. She's. I really like the owl rework on her.
Yeah, no, she's in a really good place right now, and she pairs very well with Stitches, and Uther for that matter. You don't want to see that kind of lockdown potential with a Hunter's Mark on your target.
Right. I mean, and if they were into bark, show me some Frankerzies, chat.
They're gonna go. I'll mute. They're gonna go crazy for a while.
So that's the Tyrande and Stitches. It's just the classic combo. It just does so much damage. It does a lot of damage. I don't know how else to put that. So
yeah, and the CC potential is very easy to set up the stun after the hook, which would have allowed Uther another stun. Anyways, we're not going to see it, probably for good reasons that we listed. And the Johanna ban. What do you think about Johanna just suddenly being back in full force in the meta?
I don't know. I'm confused because I can't remember the last time I played Johanna, and I haven't. Toot my own horn here. I had a competent Johanna. So, and we see the Brotoss come out and Tassadar and Artanis.
Yeah, it's a pretty scary comp on the side of Tryhard Titans right now. You're going to have a very hard time taking anyone down in that comp if properly protecting Val.
I'm thinking about it. Val is going to go the Hunter Arrow. The arrow build.
Hungering arrow build, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's especially punishing to Lunara. Lunara is pretty paper thin, and she's gonna be the focus of these swaps that Artanis is gonna be trying to pull. Probably a force wall to block her out from getting back, and then Val would just put in the melt work.
On top of that, Hunter Arrows build, the Hungering Arrow build, puts in work on the Immortals.
That's also very true.
So
we do see the Lily.
Okay, I dig it. Li Ming with that poke for days onto the Immortal, and then Lily just to add that extra bit of that constant sustain by smashing your face into Q over and over and over.
And like I said, the blinds, the Water Dragon, she's going to be very effective when she hits 10 at making sure these team fights don't go very south. I'm surprised they took it because I didn't think they would pair the second support, but I think you got enough damage with Li Ming and Lunara. Stitches is a fine solo tank. Lily can do a lot of damage, so I just really happy with that draft out of SGS.
Well, they don't have a whole lot of stuns because SWAT won't kill Jugs. They have Detainment Strike and Rain of Vengeance, and here comes the Anubrak, and this may end up being a really good Jugs game.
Yeah, it's possible, especially if the Uther decides to go Divine Storm. I just, the value in Lily these days, she doesn't, the meta has shifted so much closer to double support than it ever has.
Mm-hmm.
And we're seeing a lot of teams take utility alts in favor because you don't really need your ultimate to be a healing alt when you have two healers, right? So,
that's true.
And Water Dragons, that's a very strong ult. It does a lot of damage, especially if you pair it with the Surging Winds, where your ability power can go up to 20%, and the slow it puts out is very, very devastating. So I'm expecting Water Dragon, but we could see Jugs. We could. I think that's partly why we saw an Anubrak pick as well to respond to that. But
I think the telling thing will be is what first talent we see the Lily take.
That's always important. Anyways, on the blue team, on the left side, we have Snitches. Get Stitches. And on Stitches, we have Bandito. On Li Ming, we have Tryhard. On Lunara, we have Jamster. On Uther, we have Majesty. And on Lily, we have Spectrama.
All right, and on the side of Tryhard Titans, we see Big Dizzle on that Artanis. Tassadar, Leficus on the Tassadar. Your buddy JD on the Vala. Average Oddity on the Ariel and Sergeant Shane on the Anubarak, and we see a 3 versus 4 in that bottom lane and a 2v1. And this is not a lane Artanis is going to win.
No. It would be hard enough for him to win it if it was just Lily.
Which is the silliest thing to say. Like, in terms
Yeah.
of characters themselves and lore
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But Lily is such a bully in the early game.
Yeah, you have no real way of dealing with the amount of healing and the amount of ways she can do damage and clear out waves with her E. You don't want to get too close to those blinding winds, obviously.
The Tryhard Titans taking a bit too much damage right there, trying to shove that first tower down. Nice stun. Max range coming out of the Anubarak right there. Hides in the bushes, is getting ready to come back for more. Let's take a look.
Up
Let's
top,
see.
Big Dizzle has taken a lot of damage, so he was forced to go back and grab as well. He's still trying to defend all this pressure coming from Lunar and Lily, and to not much effect. They're getting a lot of damage on this tower.
Yeah, they're doing a real good job of just harassing. Swap misses. Lily juked it by standing still. You hate those. Hate to see those kinds of jukes. So, Nubrak goes down on the bottom. Had to have been a really sweet hook coming out of that Stitches right there.
Yeah, that would be my guess. I also missed it watching the top because
It's interesting because
Yeah.
Big Dizzle almost died right there. So we see Ariel versus Lily right there, and Leficus going on to the Lily. Lily's actually going to get a surprising amount of value right here. Nice stun from the Immortal. That's going to lead to Vala getting a shield, barely surviving right there. That was really lucky. And Nubrak.
Oh, the poison.
Yeah, the poison just too much right now. We're going to see a
got
hook.
Bala.
Oh, Nubrak goes down. This nice hook from across the gap right there. And we're going to see Lunara start putting pressure onto this Immortal just now. And this is going to be a halftime show pretty much. Lunara deciding she wants to get stunned and jumps in the circle.
Meanwhile, Lily has rotated back top, so this team's not missing any soak on the lane. Very smart play on the Lily's part, because there doesn't need to be an entire team when you've got such an advantage. Might as well continue to take the experience you can get.
Oh, we're going to go into a race now, and this is definitely going to favor Team Tryhard. Sergeant Shane coming over is trying to interrupt as best he can, but you can't really stop the Lunara and the Lily at this point. Nice stun out of Uther to dissuade Nubrak from messing with his buddies any longer.
All things considered, they took about 60% of the health off the Immortal on their side during that race, so it was very good stabilization for Team Tryhard. They're going to be able to try and defend this bottom and maybe get themselves back into this.
Oh, and we see Vala is not going the Hungry Arrow build here. She's going the right-click build, which is kind of surprising because the right-click build is obviously very, very, very strong, and it's usually the go-to, but the Hungry Arrow build is pretty much the standard in HGC play for Battlefield. So this they're going to get this front wall. That's probably about all they're going to get. Big Dizzle taking an awful lot of damage right there. Goes in, tries to maybe go for a swap, but we see the chase coming out of Tryhard Titans now. So your buddy JD barely missing that orb.
Yeah. To your point about Vala going Hungry Arrow, I mean, you have to remember the life steal that she gets out of Tacitar's shield is absurd when she gets that when she goes right click. So that was probably played part into her decision.
That is very true. And we see Li Ming trying to hit that, and Ubrak does, and activates that in Ruby and Shield, wasting his time in 2017.
A lot of pressure being shown in bottom lane after they get the camp. Team Tryhard really trying to equalize here. Make sure they have 7 before this next Immortal phase. And if they can get these towers down, I think they'll be able to get it.
Yeah, they're putting an awful lot of pressure onto Snitches get Stitches. But you see just Stitches putting in an awful lot of work right now. Oh, nice orb. A better hook. Average Oddity taking a good bit of damage. I'm sorry, your buddy JD taking a good bit of damage on that Vala, but the Ariel saves him. A nice stun onto the Nubarak. And I think Tryhard Titans is gonna get this tower, but not without losses.
Yeah, they're trying really hard to push forward and get that fort, and it was probably a mistake. They could have let the minions do the work later on while the Immortals were going, but instead they're going to be entering this Immortal phase down, and Nubarak will have to rotate in after the respawn here in the next few seconds.
We do see Vala decided to back right there, and see Leficus and Average Oddity trying to get as much damage on this Immortal in this first phase. It's going to be really, really hard to match the damage that Lunara and Li Ming and everybody else can put in. Sergeant Shane going in again, getting a stun onto the Uther.
SGS handily kind of losing that race. I don't know that I would...
No, I mean, they're 20 points off from each other. That's about as close as you can get.
Yeah, but they came in late, you know what I mean?
That's fair.
So it's one of those things where they had much more success starting as a defense and then moving into it. That's why they rotated up for it to try and defend. They fight really good with this team on top of their Immortals. So
Nubarak just they're taking a whole lot of damage. A really good defense coming out of Snitches get Stitches. They're going to move on and try to start putting some damage onto this Immortal. And Stitches stays back. Nice hook. Oh, that's going to be a stun on the Nubarak. He goes down. Leficus is super low. Big Dizzle goes down as well. The orbs and the arrows coming into his face. Li Ming resets everywhere.
Now, do you see what's happening here, Zexus? Because every time someone gets trapped and gets close to them, they are immediately blinded and ganged up on and stunned out. SGS is executing a game plan very flawlessly, and it's riding on the back of their CC and their recognition that the Lili blind would do a lot of work for them.
Yeah, I see exactly what's going on. It's you raise a very, very good point right here. And Lili definitely playing her part in these fights. She does have 8k damage.
Yeah, you won't see the numbers for Lili until later on in the game when her damage can actually become somewhat comparable to a DPS, but right now her main job is just to blind people and make people's lives miserable when they try to team fight. And
well, we do see that Water Dragon come out of Lili now that they have 10s. I like this. This is going to be a good amount of damage. Water Dragon does have a very short cooldown for an ultimate at 45 seconds, so that's going to be up and up often. Especially
later on if you go Kung Fu Hustle. It's interesting, Lunara decided to go with the Thorn Whip vibe. I guess she's just feeling her ability to harass is much more important than being able to delete them with the hop.
Yeah, and you can't really fault her for thinking like that.
No. Thorn Whip is a very, very good talent, and they haven't really shown a need to be able to... or to need more damage, really.
Ooh, Big Dizzle taking an awful lot of damage. Gets hooked. Li Ming is going to get the reset. Stitches gets the kill onto him. Hits the bile, and Li Ming has another laser if it's needed. Great amount of damage coming out from Snitches get Stitches, removing that front wall. Let's take a look at the top real quick with Lili versus Tassadar. And Lili just holding her own, really.
Yeah, and I think Tassadar recognized the rotation was likely coming, so he had to back out of there, and smartly got out of there in time. But he's going to really regret moving out there if he goes near that bush.
Yes, he is.
Meanwhile, Tryhard just trying to stabilize. They finally got 10, but they're still down 2 levels, so they're going to take some camps and try to finish off this fort, and maybe close that gap just a little bit more and get some lane presence on their side and equalize the bottom lane.
Yeah, and we see the Tryhard Titans taking that bottom camp just now, and they're all rotating the top. Vala decides to take this summoner camp on their side, and
that's probably a good idea. Top's kind of wide open for them right now, and thanks to the efforts of Lili and Lunara in the early game, so they can't really afford to let the other team just kind of go unchecked up there. And to that same end, SGS responds by going bottom and making sure they don't lose that fort to just some minions pushing out.
And the Titan timer is going to be coming up here really soon. Like looked away for a second, started saying that, and looky there.
There it was.
I'm so good at this game. But that's an awful lot of pressure at the top lane. They're definitely going to have to respond to this, or they're going to lose this fort on the top. Lily's coming up to kind of handle it, being able to blind 4 targets at once.
Ooh, Tassadar just walked into a bad time in that bush and got deleted immediately after the Uther stun.
That's going to be a problem for the tryhard Titans right there. And I feel like a Stitches hook is about to come out. It's probably going to hit that Anubarak. Ooh, and big damage coming on the Anubarak out of the Stitches. Stitches misses the hook, and he manages to get away. Average Oddity in a lot of trouble. Poison damage coming in as tryhard Titans. The cocoon comes out onto the Lunara, but it's quickly cleaned up by Snitches Get Stitches.
Yeah, Lily recognized the cocoon right away and went over there and started auto-attacking, making sure that Lunara didn't get picked off because she was going to be in a bad spot if her team didn't come over to help.
Artanis is now without his ultimate. He decided to pop it on Snitches Get Stitches, and I'm not sure what he was going for right there.
Yeah, I'm guessing he just wanted to slow them down a bit with the blind, but I don't really know.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either. Hook hits onto the Immortal. Nobody's going for a ride. Another swap misses from tryhard Titans. Shield goes onto Anubarak after eating some arrows to the face. This is a very dicey situation for tryhard Titans. They've got to get some kind of damage onto this on the enemy Immortal, but Snitches Get Stitches. They're just not letting them do it, and you see that holy fire around Uther right now with that sick wave clear, and Artanis does it again. He just throws out the suppression pulse, and I'm not entirely certain what he's trying to go for with that.
Yeah.
Ooh, Average Oddity
like
in a lot of
kinda
trouble.
wait.
Ariel is gonna end up dying. Has to burn the stasis. Anubarak goes in, but this is just a big problem. Divine Shield onto the Li Ming, and
That prevented her from getting stunned out there. It was very smart because that shield came up as the spine was going down.
yeah, I think she would have been fine. I think she could have teleported over the wall or something like that. But it was a good preemptive play out of the Uther. However, that does put it down. And this Immortal is incredibly healthy still.
Yeah, it was a full shield Immortal. It never really lost anything. So Tryhard has to figure out a way to deal with that, and it's not working. You see the Water Dragon there just turning Anubarak into the slowest beetle in the world.
I feel like this is probably going to be game at this point. This Immortal still has a shield. There's 2 down on the side of Tryhard Titans. I feel like, hey, we get 2 game 3s today, buddy. How about that?
That's pretty crazy considering we hadn't had one for 4 weeks now. 4 weeks now, right?
Yeah. So Rain of Vengeance comes on, hits the Stitches. Another suppression pulse onto. Oh, and red team.
At least
does
that one
get a
made
fort.
sense. You're just trying to do damage.
Yeah, but Putrid Bile comes out on Stitches, and there's really nothing they could do at this point. It was It was kind of painful.
Hey man, Lily jams up a lot of comps. If you're watching this and you see the other team really commit to that Vala Ariel battery or auto attack battery, just pick Lily.
Just pick Lily.
You handicap their support and their main damage at the same time.
Mm-hmm. You're definitely not wrong on that. And now we've got a 1-1 on our hands, and we'll have the rubber match coming up here real soon. So stick around. We'll be right back, everybody. And we are back for the rubber match between Snitches Get Stitches and the Try Hard Titans tonight in Thursday Night Heroes, sponsored by Chair League. We are going to be going to Cursed Hollow for Game 3, and I love it. I love this map. Everyone complains, oh, it's such a basic map, and blah, 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 but it's a fun map.
Yeah, no, Cursed Hollow promotes a lot of team fights, and it creates a lot of situations where boss play becomes very important and how you utilize those bosses and whether or not you invade for the boss or you just go with your safe bot. There's a lot of cool mechanics in Cursed Hollow. I don't think it's as cookie cutter bland as everybody makes it out to be.
You're very, very true. There is a multiple. I mean, granted, you do kind of need to center your plan around those tributes, but you can go many, many different directions with how you approach the map.
For sure.
You can split push. You can mass push. Like macro and micro play on this map are incredibly valid ways to play this map. So we will we'll definitely see how this turns out once we get started. But that was a wonderful response out of Snitches Get Stitches. They definitely fired back really hard. The Stitches pick paid just massive dividends. So,
and it looks like we got everyone ready, so we're going to be switching over to the draft screen here in just a moment for you and bring you this final game between Stitches Get Snitches. Or Snitches Get Stitches. I was good. I was good all night.
You were doing
and
so
Try
well.
Hard Titans.
You're almost there. If we didn't have a game 3, you would have been perfect.
That's true. I blame SGS for coming back in game 2 and giving us a really exciting game to watch.
Very much so. So, I love the Dahaka ban here. I'd like to see him played, but Dahaka is a gigantic problem on this map.
Yeah, if you're not first picking him, you're first banning him.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see how... Gray main ban, I can't really blame him for that. Gray main's definitely a problem. Tons of poke, if I'm honest.
Yeah. I mean...
You know who I'd like to see picked on this map? Zarya.
Zarya's very good around the temples. I'm always a fan of Abathur on this map. It's so big, he can get so much accomplished.
Yeah, Zarya just for the delay factor alone can be just such a nuisance.
Yeah. Yeah, to that end, Tassadar is also very good.
Agreed.
As far as being a pain in the butt.
So yeah, they decided to go with that Gray Man ban. We'll see what Try Hard Titans decide to pick up with their first pick, and it's immediately the Uther. And solid pick.
Yeah,
Meta-slaves.
they've never hesitated on their picks. So
yeah, they definitely know what they want, and they know what kind of gameplay they want to execute, and you can always appreciate that.
definitely.
So we're going to look at the next 2 picks coming out of Snitches Get Stitches as a cat wanders under my feet for some reason. Hello, Henry. So, I'm thinking they might want to go some kind of global. Falstad would be really strong here. Providing split push and then the ability to show up to an objective relatively quickly is nothing to underestimate. And that's pretty much why they decided to ban out that Dahaka right there. Dahaka has incredible split push. But we see the Lunara and Stitches come back. They decide, you know what, it worked so well for us last game, let's go for it again. And my good buddy Charlie is muted.
And I'm guessing that was part of Tryhard's strategy there because you knew they were probably going to go back to the Stitches and you wanted to ban the Dahaka. So who do you absolutely not want to see paired with Stitches? Well, that's probably Uther. As far as like top tier supports go, Uther's very good And that stun just creates so much time for the team to clean up anything Stitches hooks. So.
I like the next two picks coming out of Try Hard Titans. It's the Falstead and the Sonya. I would not be shocked to see a Tehran pick up here.
Yeah, if both teams let it through, they would definitely consider it. We could see that. We could also see a ban on Sylvanas. She's strong here for various reasons.
That is very, very true. I think Tehran, however, provides a bit more value in the long run here, with Starfall being a possible option, delaying a potential turn-in for ages, on top of Birds being able to snipe potential pickups.
Yeah, but if you're tryhard and you're going into your ban and you know the other team has the next two picks, how do you let Tehran go through when they're already showing Stitches Lunara? Well, I guess just like that.
Just like that. So, I mean,
You ban Stuka.
that's also a pretty nasty combo as well. We see the mouth, and I'm okay with that. That's another good combo with Stitches.
Yeah, and Twilight Dream can be devastating to Sonya, so.
Yeah, sleeper right out of the whirlwind and various other things.
Yeah, she relies on her abilities so much to be able to maintain her pressure through lifesteal, and when you silence her, that gets disrupted, especially for as long as Twilight Dream silences.
Very, very much so. And we see the Artanis come out from Snitches Get Stitches, and that's a good pickup.
Yeah, you can always create havoc when you follow a hook with a displacement. It's a lot of distance to travel away from your team, so
yeah,
expect to see some synergy between Stitches and Artanis.
So they're going to have to pair this Sony up with another tank. Well, they should, at least. They don't have to.
And with what's left on the board, I think Arthas is likely the go-to pick if you want someone really beefy. He provides so much, but they also seem pretty fond of a Nubric. There's the Abathur I talked about. Very, very strong pick on the side of Tryhard Titans, and in no way did SGS really prepare to deal with an Abathur, so they're going to have to really respond with that last pick, and it'll be interesting to see what they're going to pair with the Abathur here. That's a Muradin. Very strong.
So there's the main tank. Yeah, I like this. Comedy option. They picked Brightwing.
Brightwing's actually not bad because she shuts down Sonya, and if this Muradin decides to go give him the axe, it would also be very effective against Muradin.
Not to mention, Brightwing has that global presence, so she can split push a lane or counter push whatever lane Abathur's in, and then show up when she's needed.
If SGS outdrafts them by picking a support last pick that directly counters two of their last three picks, I'm going to be very impressed.
Yeah. I honestly think Brightwing's the pick here.
She's good. Her healing's a little lacking, but obviously that's not an issue when you have Malfurion. Her damage is almost non-existent, but that's not why you get her. You get her because she has a constant free heal stream, but they like to go Li Ming.
So they're looking to just explode everybody else while Abathur tries to save whoever. So I don't disagree with that pick.
Yeah, it's not bad. I worry about how much healing you're going to be able to do, especially when Abathur clones somebody. You only have Malfurion, and he only has Q, unless they decide to go with Tranquility, which is still a possibility when you're talking about solo healing Malfurion. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, well, we're about to find out. We're going into Game 3 on the Cursed Hollow. This is Chair League. We're Nexus Commentaries. This is the Cursed Hollow.
This is Game 3.
I am very, very excited about this last game. This will be very interesting to see how this plays out. Both teams winning in dominant fashion on both their games. So here we go. I'll go ahead and call in the left side this time. Let's mix it up a little bit. So on the side of Snitches Get Stitches, we've got Tryhard on the Leeming, Majesty on the Malfurion, Jamster on the Lunara, Spectrama on the Artanis, and Bandito on the Stitches.
And on the right side, we have the Tryhard Titans. On the Muradin, we have Sergeant Shane. On Uther, we have Average Oddity. On Sonia, we have Big Dizzle. On Abyssur, we have Leafacus. And on Falstad, we have your buddy JD.
I'd like to point out right away that Falstad has gone Gathering Storm, so every time Hammering hits a hero, he's going to get a 1.5 increase to its damage, and sometimes these maps take a while, and so that could be potentially an awful lot of damage.
Oh, yeah, and he's definitely going to be their primary source of damage, so they want to ensure that he has that extra pop when he actually gets a chance to unload on somebody. And Gathering Storms will definitely give you that, especially if you can farm it up early.
Very much so. You are correct on that, and we just see a little bit of a party mid. The melee creeps going down on both sides, and it seems that Snitches Get Stitches have a bit of better wave clear. Average Oddity, playing kind of risky. I wouldn't want to be around that Stitches hook. So.
Yeah, you really got to stay behind your minions. You don't want to get pulled out too far.
Yeah, and then tower shots on top, just getting kind of wasted away there. Good, smartly placed root from the Malfurion there, kind of making Muradin wait outside his gates. Stitches misses the hook. Tragedy strikes right there. That probably could have been a kill right there.
Yeah, you hate to see that when a hook goes wide, and it was just going to be the perfect time for one.
So we're going to take a look at the stacks. He's already got 8 stacks onto that Gathering Storm. So which comes out to about, I don't know, 7 extra damage? I'm not good at math. It's extra damage though.
With 8 stacks, he would have 12.
For 1.5 each time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
8 times 5 is 40. 1 times 8 is 8. 12.
Okay. I don't understand a word of what you just said, but because I don't have a mathematically inclined brain. But we see more poking and prodding here in the mid lane. It does look like Snitches Get Stitches are kind of getting the better of things right now. Abyssur did look like he took a bunch of damage. He's sitting kind of close to that wall. If Li Ming throws an orb out there, he'll probably end up eating a lot of damage. Like, I would just throw an orb right now at that bottom wall.
Yeah. I mean, he's putting out the pressure with just Abyssur back there trying to push out the lane with his minions. It's not going to get much done with the amount of
Sony's
lane
coming
damage.
in. Li Ming immediately teleports. She's going to have to dodge his hook. She takes a nice seismic slam to the gourd right there and has to hit the well as this first tribute spawns in the bottom center of the map.
And this is good fortune for SGS. They're better off on the rotations here as Murderdan is very far out, but it looks like it's not going to come into effect because SGS doesn't know that.
Yeah, we see that Abyssur immediately run to the top. Good attempt to swap onto Big Dizzle right there, and it just barely misses. A root comes out. Sergeant Shane trying to get the interrupt right there. Does land the stun onto Lunara, but Lunara's going to turn around and start chucking spears at the angry little dwarf's head. And he goes down really low. Nice root onto... ooh, Muradin gets stunned right there by the hook. Has to run out. Big Dizzle spinning to win on her way out. She's going to... is she going to die? No! Oh, she barely survives right there as Snitches Get Stitches end up grabbing the first tribute of the game and cleaning up the siege camp on the bottom.
Now that tribute didn't go their way, but that is only one tribute, and the experience totals are completely even. So that clutch heal by Uther, who got that heal off right as the Muradin was escaping and about to die from tick damage, that ended up being a big difference in all of this because they're able to go right back into lanes and start soaking again and make sure that SGS doesn't get too far ahead.
Ooh, and Sonya going in hard against the Malfurion. He's going to back and recover his mana, but we see this next tribute spawn at the top left right there. And Stitches is in a prime position to do something about it. And this is a very, very late rotation. Muradin's going to need some godlike luck in order to prevent this turn-in from happening. And I don't think he can delay it long enough. They're just going to give it up. The goal here is you want to delay longer because obviously you got Abathur on your team, so you're not really going to come online until 10. Mm-hmm. But to offer almost no delay to that tribute, it kind of puts you under the gun because you're not going to hit 10 before tribute 3 spawns. Nice hook from the Stitches, forces the dwarf jump out, and they're going to grab both top towers, and Muradin ends up taking a lot more damage for his trouble right there. Average Oddity coming in with the heal, giving that bonus armor real quick. Ooh, another nice hook. These Stitches hook have just been on point from Bandito. Yeah,
and every time Lunara follows up with the poison explosion so that they're slowed and they have a hard time moving back to their teammates.
Abathur is very well executed. Really risky right now. Like I know. Oh, this is a dead slug.
Yeah.
Drops the mule onto that tower, and you hate to see this kind of thing happen.
Yeah, you really put yourself behind now. It's going to be a hard time to come back from this. Malfurion gets picked though. That's good news for Tryhard Titans.
Well, we see the siege camp getting taken up top, and everyone is quickly running towards this bottom right tribute. Stitches trying to delay as best he could. Nice body block.
What a body block for that hook.
And the 10s come out. They're now a factor. Tryhard is about to die. There's nothing she can do about that. She is dead. Big Dizzle almost dead. Bandito going down. Or not going down. I'm sorry. Average Oddity having to get out. Muradin, their 2 tanks are dead. There's not a whole lot they can do about this at this point. Nice swap on the Uther to just prevent him from throwing that holy light out and delaying even further. So now Snitches get Stitches have their own curse.
Yeah. The key part to that fight was definitely the Li Ming coming in at the last moment and interrupting that channel because they had no interest in fighting there. That body block by Falstad was a very clear indication that they wanted that channel right then and there and to not have to worry and go back and soak 10s because they were down Abathur, they were down a level, they didn't want to be there. Li Ming getting there and getting that one shot off to interrupt the channel changed that whole battle.
We see Abathur actually slapping some creeps to get the pressure off.
I would rather an Abathur die 3 times playing aggressive than never die and never get aggressive.
Ooh,
I always appreciate aggressive Abathur.
Nice silence from the Malfurion right there. He's still probably going to die, but he's going to make life very difficult for them. In the meantime, Muradin taking a lot of damage. Malf's still not dead somehow. And there's 3 on the side right here that are very low. And someone could die. And that's going to be Muradin. He's definitely... Nice swap. Oh, good attempt at a gust from the Falstad right there. Doesn't do anything, though. Divine Shield coming out onto the Uther. Let's see, Muradin is going to die, maybe? Yeah, he goes down.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hopped in that direction. He had the leeway to hop towards Uther and possibly get a heal.
Yeah, the thing that surprised me most was that gust did nothing. Apparently, gust doesn't work on targets mid-swap.
And SGS looking to get very aggressive here and try to probably at least get this well to make it very hard to tap off when they get whenever they go over to get the siege camp, because the siege camp is very effective when you can invade and steal it.
And if they're going for boss, I applaud this play out of Snitches Get Stitches. Yeah, they're definitely going to go boss, and I have a feeling that they're going to try to counter this, and Gust is off cooldown now, so they can definitely make a Gust play here.
Yeah, they're going to have to back off of it. That was a very weak, uncoordinated boss pull there with Stitches in the mid lane and
Big Dizzle's
Tryhard
gotta be
Titan
careful.
sniffing it out almost
nice
immediately.
swap. Big Dizzle has to defensively leap out of there. Hook doesn't even come close right there, but I mean, you forced out leap, and you can't really ask for anything more than that.
But in the meantime, you also forced out.
Swap onto the Uther. He's gonna die. Nice swap, or Gust. Uther survives.
When you can make yourself invulnerable. Oh, what a swap! Double
The
swap.
jump comes out. Uther goes down. Arthas is gonna go, or Murden is gonna go down as well. This is just no. Murden is gonna survive, but the Abathur is gonna actually get this tribute. There's nothing you can do about it. So
Good old aggressive Abathur.
Yeah. And Abathur ends up burrowing close back to base, but Arthas now gonna just clean his creep wave up, push the experience lead, and now everything just kind of hits a lull right now. We see, we might see a camp try to get taken. Oh, but I like this. Everyone's gathering up for this boss play now. Maybe, maybe not. No, they want to go for the siege camp or the night camp.
Yep, they elect to take the bruisers because the bruisers put the pressure on the minion on the middle lane, which becomes important later on. You want to have that mid lane pushed out on Cursed Hollow because it gives you a chance to have a good lane to split push in when you take a boss.
And we see Artanis positioning himself for the tribute as Snitches Get Stitches finish off their boss. And Tryhard Titans, they kind of need to hurry up.
Yeah, they're really behind things right here, and Murden being up there alone is a recipe for disaster because he's proven that he's not tanky enough to deal with these Stitches hook combos.
Yeah, definitely not. And we see Sonya almost saying hi to Stitches in the wrong way, but Stitches pops the Putrid Bile just to kind of delay them. And that was a really smart preemptive bile, if I'm honest. And this boss is getting some work done on this bottom keep for Snitches.
It took a lot of damage getting there, though.
There was a pretty big creep wave, if I'm honest.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where they're not going to be able to get the fort because the bats were in time, or the keep rather. But it was very important to put boss pressure on there, and.
I do want to say I appreciate how aggressive this Abathur is just playing. He's all over the map. He's not really hiding behind gates for too long, but he's definitely just going nuts right now. And
yeah, it's important because the farther you get out, the farther you can start placing your bombs and whatnot, which makes you a much more effective player for providing vision on the map, creating choke points where heroes might get themselves killed, things like that. You can't do that if you're always in your core.
And now we see that Snitches Get Stitches does have their 16s, and it's going to be really dicey for on the side of Tryhard Titans. And they also grab that vision, so Tryhard Titans are just kind of forced to give this tribute up at this point. Great body positioning out of that Stitches right there. So they're looking to push this keep in. I approve. Like Tryhard Titans are way out of position to respond to this, and Stitches are just gonna take this keep for free. No real response out of Tryhard Titans.
Yeah, they came over kind of late, and SGS is already out of their back to answer the pressure that was pushing bottom and possibly look to stop whatever's going on up top with Uther and Sonya.
Yeah, this becomes a really big problem as this
Or,
game drags
I'm sorry.
on.
Uther and Falstad.
Yes. Oh, Uther is flying in to somewhere. Nice. Oh, nice. Oh, and he has to pop the avatar just to stay alive. That's going to be really catastrophic for this next team fight around the next tribute.
Yeah,
Ooh,
forcing
Sonya's
out
in a lot
that.
of trouble. She's going to go down, gets hooked, and dies. Oh, nice root onto the Uther right there. The Twilight Dream comes out, and he's going to go down. He has to shield himself. I think, Charlie, I think this is going to be game.
Yeah, this doesn't look too good for them. They've got core pressure. They've got catapults. They could go back and take the tribute if they want to. If this doesn't work out, things just actually they can't because Abathur went and grabbed that. But yeah, there's just going to be way too much damage for Tryhard Titans to deal with here. The core is already at 57%. Lunar is just relentlessly chucking spears at it. As Artanis pulls the swap, the Leaming Laser's going in. She doesn't get the reset though, so might have been wrong. They might not fully get this core here. Yeah, it looks like they're going to have to back out with it still at 40%, giving it a chance to regen some of its shields and give Tryhard Titans a chance to come back in. 16 to 18. This is when you can swing a game. You know, you can be down 2 levels here and still come back.
Oh, they have mules, so that core is going to eventually go all the way back to full. So
that's a very good point. Yeah, I totally forgot. So SGS is really going to need to pressure with their boss here.
Yeah, they definitely are, and their boss is going to be up in 35 seconds as compared to the 45 seconds of Tryhard Titans.
Look at the problems that Abathur is causing. He pretty much took that fort himself with the locust brood there. He spawned a bunch of locusts at it, and that thing just went down.
Yeah.
And he's also made sure that they're in a position right now to be cursing the other team.
Oh, Falstad has to defensively gust right there. Not the kind of thing you want to see happen. Oh, shit.
Yeah, there was no reason for Uther to come in on that angle at that moment. Falstad had just hit the gust. You could have came in late. Now they know where you're at. That was a misplay by Sergeant Shane there.
Yeah, and now we've got a swap onto 2. The roots come in. Avatar gets popped. Sonya's in a lot of trouble. She's silent. She has no way to regen the health. She goes down. Sergeant Shane gets hooked. Is gonna get eaten by the Stitches. This is gonna be a curse, and this is a giant problem.
This is game.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're just they're just breaking
going
down that wall and going right through. Yep.
Yep.
No, this is game. So SGS responded really well, and it was funny because Tryhard Titans looked so dominant in that first game, like to the point where you have to wonder, do they just really need that gray main to go? Because after the gray main pants came out, Tryhard Titans looked like a different team.
Yeah, they I'm not really sure what they did differently, because they seem to just have their picks just ready to go. They knew what they wanted. It just seemed like that Snitches Get Stitches was just able to execute their own game plans a lot better. And yeah. So like the Stitches hooks just were on point every time.
Yeah, no, I mean they're obviously very, very practiced in hitting those combos and making sure that they know. They can trust that their Stitches is going to put them in a position to execute those combos.
Definitely. So that was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. I think basically Tryhard Titans were close to executing their game plan. They messed up at 2 major key moments. They didn't delay the second tribute at all, and they really needed to buy like probably about 30-40 seconds of lane soak for Abathur. And when that happened, they put themselves in a position where, okay, they had to be at the next tribute, and they had to take it.
Yeah.
And we saw what happened there, the 0-hour Leaming interrupt when after Falstad had successfully barrel rolled into a hook to stop the first interruption attempt, and it looked like it was going to go through, but
Yeah, that was
man,
definitely the president taking the Secret Service taking a bullet for the president on that hook interrupt right there.
yeah, no,
That
that
is
was
impressive.
clutch.
I
Yeah.
I was incredibly impressed with how well that Abathur played.
Yeah, no, like I said, I would rather have an Abathur die 2 or 3 times being aggressive than never leave the base. He got a forward. He was taking tributes. He put them in a chance. He put them in a position late to at least have a chance. It didn't work out, but well played by both teams here.
Yeah. So that's gonna do us for tonight. I want to thank everybody who watched tonight. I want to thank my good buddy Charlie, Ball Rock Band VP, for coming out and casting with us tonight. I hope everyone enjoyed the commentary. You can check us out on YouTube with a complicated link. You can search for Nexus Commentaries YouTube. You should be able to find us via that. Follow the channel if you enjoyed it at all. We appreciate the follows. Help us at least get affiliate status at some point so we can get our Mr. Chooch emote going.
I can't believe that's going to be the one, but I like it.
That's good. That train outside your house interrupts you so often, bro.
If we get a Mr. Chooch emote, pretty much everyone in my Warcraft group will probably subscribe because Mr. Chooch is legendary in that.
That's great. So, again, thank you to everyone who let us cast tonight, all the teams. Thank you to all the players. Thank you to all the viewers. We love each and every one of you. Again, like the channel, follow us, let us know. We'll get started on some HGC open games on Monday. Tuesday nights, you can catch me and Balrog Fan on our podcast at twitch.tv/BlizzPro. We have pre-show games starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The actual podcast itself starts at 10. So,
we're always looking for people to join us for pre-show games. We're not a super serious group, but we like playing with 5 people who are all kind of on the same page.
Yeah.
Whether, we're going into that night knowing we're all learning new stuff and having fun, or if we're feeling like we want to really try hard. But if you're in chat right now and that kind of stuff interests you, make sure to check out the Power Hour at 8 on Tuesday because we will gladly invite you to our games.
Yes, absolutely. So that's going to do it for tonight. Again, thanks for watching Nexus Commentaries. We will see you again at the latest next Tuesday. Thanks, everyone.